I just thought I'd show a couple of other little things that I just neglected to mention in the video with this plugin. Let's do this quick. Hey, it's a snowman! So, one thing I didn't mention was that you can do multiple objects, if you like. And with multiple objects, as long as they share the same channels, you can also use that. So, for instance, I could select all of these channels and set the minimum value. And then let's say, let's shrink them all, get a bit of a squish. Maybe we want to have a squash. And we have our control. And this control will work on all of those attributes together. The other thing I was going to say is why a lever instead of a slider? Well, because a slider you tend to have a long bar with a little tiny piece, and generally you pick this bit of the slider to move it around and put it in position, and you have to pick this bit in order to move it left and right. And it seems backwards to me because generally speaking this is the smaller piece and you're going to use that a whole lot more often than you are about this. With a lever, of course, you've only got this little bit to select to put it in position, and then you totally forget about it. You're never going to touch this thing again once it's in position, and the majority of the shape is for controlling it so you can select it. The other advantage is that for subtle movements you can see at the very end of the lever, just because of the nature of the way levers work, you can see it accentuates small motions, and you can see exactly when it's moving just a little bit at a time. Whereas a slider, of course, just moves, a pixel length across the screen for very, very subtle motions. The only downside to the lever, as far as I can tell, is that you can't squeeze them together in a 2D space like you can with lots and lots of sliders. They seem to fit naturally together. Instead, you have to get levers in 3D space, and much like they have in factories, and have them all sitting overlapping each other. One other thing was also because it's a lever, you can scale it. And the reason being is if you scale a slider, say this is -1, +1 values, and you make your slider bigger, all of a sudden that slider is going to go to say -3, +3, and you're going to end up with 3 times the amount of motion of control, or it'll just cut out, at -1, +1, and this whole space here would not be used at all. With a lever, it's the same angle no matter what the size. So it could be huge, it could be small, it'll always have exactly the same range of motion.